it seems like we've got risk aversion taking effect here after major central banks, as I've just said, announced plans to scale back on emergency lending. Run us through the movement you're seeing on the JSE today, considering that this could well be labelled a super long weekend.
Well, yeah, we do have thin volumes at the moment because a lot of people are on leave, so not much going on in the JSE necessarily. But yes, we are reacting to worldwide downturns. We saw also Asia also closed down. Australia closed marginally up, but that was back on the back of corporate action there in the banking sector. But generally we're just reacting to what happened in the United States yesterday and what we've seen worldwide so far this morning.
Of course, G20 is in the spotlight. What are you making of the timing for plans to unwind emergency economic support here, and to what extent do you actually see it hampering the road to recovery?
Well, I think the market has spoken. The market doesn't like it. I think general consensus is that it is a little bit too soon for that to happen. And I think, there's general worry that the market will lag a lot more than it has been so far. But I think what we're seeing and what we expect is that, we expect that the individual countries will actually still carry on with some type of stimulus packages. And then we expect that, as much as they have pulled back a lot, interest rates will stay at where they are. Consumer spending will still be stimulated because, the United States consumer is who is going to help us get out of this recession. But I think the market is just not very happy that this has happened so soon.
Is this possibly just a knee-jerk reaction here? Because while that has been said, we've got G20 leaders pledging to keep economic supports in place until a durable recovery is secured. So surely that should be offering some reassurances moving forward.
Yes, I think, the market still needs to digest what the G20 is going to say and to actually wait for all the findings of the G20 and the plans to come out first before a proper sustained reaction to this G20 summit, starts to play out. But I think what we expecting is that, once next week comes around and, there has been some digestion of the news, we should see some more stability coming out. But however, we do expect US GDP numbers to come out next week, as well as key important employment numbers to also come out. So it will be very interesting to see what happens there.
Well, talking about numbers, of course, it was US economic data yesterday, the US housing data specifically, that was the focal point and triggered a lot of the pullback we've seen. Looking forward to today's data, we have quite a bit. How do you see new home sales data actually comparing?
We expect, I was just looking at the forecasts, and we expect it to be up marginally from about 433,000 to about 420,000. So I think we're expecting a little bit up, but it could disappoint on the downside, where it's not as big as what the market is forecasting. But that just goes to what yesterday, as we see the market is down today, but that was because of existing home sales yesterday, and new home sales should actually point forward or point what is going to happen with the United States consumer.
In the meantime, we've got a final September reading for the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index due for release as well. With so much of the recovery hinging on the US consumer, what are your expectations there?
Yeah, no, expecting that, it would also be sentiment, we have the same sentiment as this week. We're expecting it to be a little bit subdued, and I think the United States consumer has picked up quite a lot, but to be optimistic or overly optimistic about that is not a good strategy at the moment. But I think that we will see that the US consumer is still a little bit pessimistic as to the future.
In the meantime, we've got that oil price being affected by the anticipated scale back of the economic recovery. Analysts have said, though, that today's gain that we've seen was largely a technical rebound, with demand and supply fundamentals still pretty weak at this stage of the game. What's your outlook for that oil price moving forward?
Yeah, I think the pullback in oil has been based on the supply side of things, and there was a report that said that US stockpiles are still very up, and so we expect that to reflect. I'm sorry, I'm echoing so badly. If you can